Okay, so we got interrupted on the last one, but number 10, have a negative x minus a negative a times a minus x, where x is a negative 3 and a equals 5. So again, I'm going to put everything back into the problem. And let me make sure that we have everything right. X is the negative 3, so I have a negative 3 minus a negative a. A is 5, so that becomes a negative 5 times a minus x. Again, a is 5 minus a negative 3. So a negative 3 becomes a positive 3 minus a negative 5 times 5 minus a negative 3 is the same thing as 5 plus 3. So 5 plus 3 is 8. So then we have 3 minus a negative 5 times 8 is a negative 40. A negative 40, which is the same thing as saying 3 minus negative 40, 3 plus 40, which equals 43. Now we're going to move into the solving for x. So, on test form B, number 11, says if you have test form A, you're going to be in a little bit different order, but they're still the same problems. 7 times 6x minus 4 plus 2 minus 5x plus 2 equals 35. Now, when we're solving for x, we have to have all the x's on one side of the equation and all the numbers on the other side of the equation. The first thing that I would do in this is I would do our simplifying of like terms right here in the middle. We have x's, 6x, and negative 5x, and then we have numbers, a negative 4, a positive 2, and again a positive 2. So if we do that, we'll have 7 times 6x minus 5x, that's 1x, and then a negative 4 plus 2 is a negative 2, and then negative 2 plus another 2 is 0. So we don't have to worry about that. It's just x in there equals 35. So 7 times x is 7x, which equals 35. We have to divide by 7, divide by 7, divide by 7, and we get x is equal to 5. Now, if we go back in and check our work, we can put 5 in for x and make sure that that's right. So we have 7 times 6 times 5 minus 4 plus 2 minus 5 times 5 plus 2. And that should equal 35. So let's see. 7 times 6 times 5, that's 30. Minus 4 plus 2, that's minus 2. Minus 5 times 5, that's 25. Plus 2. All right, first of all, a negative 2 and a positive 2, those cancel out right off the bat. 30 minus 25 is 5. So we get 7 times 5, which does equal 35. So it checks. That was number 11. Number 12 says 2x minus 6 plus 3x equals x plus 18. Again, first thing I want to do is simplify on this side. So I have a 2x and a positive 3x. So that together is a 5x, and then I still have my minus 6. 5x minus 6 equals x plus 18. Now we need all the whole numbers on one side and all the x's on the other side. So the first thing I'm going to do is move my 6 over. A negative 6, we get rid of it by adding 6. So here I have a 5x. The 6's cancel out, equals x plus 18 plus 6, which is 24. Now we have to get rid of this x to that side, to the left side of the equation. So positive x, we do it by getting rid of an x. Subtract an x from both sides, so we get 5x minus 1x is 4x, equals, the x's cancel out, and we have 24. And then again, we divide by 4 because we have 4x, so divide by 4 on each side. 4 divided by 4 is 1x, equals 24 divided by 4 is 6. And we can go back and put this back into the equation to make sure it works. So we have 2 times 6 minus 6 plus 3 times 6 equals 6 plus 18. So 2 times 6 is 12, minus 6 plus 3 times 6 is 18 equals 18 plus 6 is 24. So 12 minus 6 is 6. 6 plus 18 is 24. So it works out. And then the last one, number 13, we have 2x plus 3, that quantity times 4 equals 5 times x minus 6. Now we're going to have to use the distributive property on both sides for this one. So we'll start over here and do our distributive property. 4 times 2x, the first term, 4 times 2x is 8x. Then the second term, 4 times 3, is a positive 12. So that's that side, equals, and now we're going to use the distributive property on this side. So the 5 times both of these. So first is 5 times our first term, which is x, so that was 5x. And then we have 5 and a negative 6. So 5 times a negative 6 is a negative 30. So that's this side. Now we need all our x's on one side, all our numbers on the other side. So what we'll do is I will first get rid of a 5x here. So I have a positive 5x, so I subtract 5x from both sides. 8x minus 5x becomes 3x plus 12 equals 5x minus 5x is 0, and so I'm left with a negative 30. Now I need to get this 12 to the other side. So I have a positive 12, so I'll subtract 12 from both sides. 3x drops down. 12 minus 12 is 0. Equal sign drops down. Negative 30 minus 12 is a negative 42. So I have a 3x that I have to divide by 3, and which means I have to divide by 3 on both sides. 3 divided by 3 is positive 1x equals, remember here, we have a negative divided by a positive, so the whole answer is going to be a negative, and 42 divided by 3, 3 goes into 4 one time, 1, bring down to 2, 3 into 12 goes 4 times, so we get a negative 14. And again, we put this back into our original equation, so that we have 2 times a negative 14 plus 3, all of that, times 4 equals 5 times a negative 14 minus 6. So let's do this side first. 2 times a negative 14 is a negative 28. And then a negative 28 plus 3 is a negative 25. So a negative 25 times 4 equals 5 times a negative 14 minus 6 is a negative 20. So negative 25 times 4 is a negative 100. 5 times a negative 20 is a negative 100. And a negative 100 does equal a negative 100. And that's how those work out. Now, let's move into the inequalities. Very much the same, but now instead of an equal sign, we have greater thans, less thans, and sometimes greater than, equal to. So number 14 has 3 is less than 2 times x plus 2 minus 7, which is less than or equal to 13. So this is a conjunction, meaning we have two problems to solve. The first one is 3 is less than 2 times x plus 2 minus 7. That's that one. The second problem we have to solve is 2 times x plus 2 minus 7, which is less than or equal to 13. So here we go. So here on this side, we're going to have 3 is less than, we've got to use the distributive property. So 2 times our first term, which is 2x, and 2 times our second term, 2 times 2 is positive 4, minus 7. So then we have 3 is less than 2x, positive 4 minus 7 is a negative 3. We have to get rid of that 3 from both sides. So a negative 3, we do it by adding 3. 3 plus 3 is 6, is less than 2x. And now we need to get down to 1x. So we divide by 2, and we get 3 is less than x. So that's the one side of it. Now on the other side, we have to do the same thing. First we distribute. 2 times 2x, 2 times x is 2x. Then 2 times 2 is a positive 4. We have minus 7 is less than or equal to 13. Again, we have 2x, positive 4 minus 7, that becomes a negative 3 is less than or equal to 13. Notice that this and this are the same, and they should be. But now we have to get rid of that negative 3. We do it by adding a 3. Adding a 3, we have 2x. Negative 3 plus 3 cancel out, is less than or equal to 13 plus 3 is 16. We divide by our 2. 2's go to 1x, is less than or equal to 8. And remember I told y'all have to put them together so that it reads out 3 is less than x is less than or equal to 8. Now x is bigger than 3 and x is smaller than 8. And it's graphed like this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. X is greater than 3. Open circle. X is less than or equal to 8 because it has the equal sign here. Less than or equal, close circle. And x is everything in between. And that's how we do that one. Now I'm going to close out and we'll finish up on the next video.